Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is about getting messages from the other side of the veil. So we are getting closer to Halloween or Samhain, and this is a very, very special time of the year. Of course, it's also the channel's anniversary, so thank you so much for everyone who is contributing to this channel and who is encouraging me to continue. Your feedback and your words. You're always so kind, and I'm super happy with everyone who is present in this collective. Thank you so much for your attention and your energy. So let's start with pile number 1. We have Taurus, Pisces, Capricorn, and Scorpio. Your card is the Fox. Okay, pile number 2, we have Leo, Aquarius, Cancer, and Sagittarius. Your card is Cow. For the third pile, we have Gemini, Virgo, Libra, and Aries. Your card is the Goose. Okay, I'll give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1. So, what is your message from the other side of the veil? When I saw the fox, I didn't see the animal, I saw a person. So I feel like this is a person, a specific person who is trying to talk to you from the other side of the veil. So usually someone who has passed, but it can also be a spirit that is guiding you, a sort of companion. And this would be someone who looked like a dog but acted like a cat. So that was the phrase that came to my mind, and I feel like it's a great characterization of the fox. So the fox looks a bit like a dog, but they act and they move and they have the same kind of elegance and smoothness of cats. So this is someone who was very, very smart and diplomatic and sophisticated. And it feels like it was someone very beautiful, so elegant, someone who maybe liked to look pretty or beautiful. I sense a feminine energy, but not necessarily. So it might have been someone like very dandy, someone who liked to dress up, someone who worked in diplomacy or who was very diplomatic, maybe someone who was kind of like popular or had to deal with a lot of people. Maybe they had a public life or they had a public aspect of their life. Okay, so someone who is very, very smart and actually intelligent, but they were also very cautious. So first I'll get the rune. For each pile I'm choosing different decks. I don't know if I'm going to use the same format for each one of the piles today. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Ansus. Do we have a focus? Okay, so we have the Ansus rune today. And the Ansus is precisely about message, getting a message, getting signs. So I believe that this message is going to be very specific and very clear for some of you. So let's see where this is going to take us. Maybe it's something very specific today. It's like the energy is very well defined. I would say it's someone who has a very clear understanding that they want to share with you. Okay. I'm hearing something like it has to make sense. It has to make sense. Something has to make sense. Make the Maya mentor. Wow. So this is about attention to detail. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting different messages here. Death. So we have messages, also clues, attention to detail, small details like breadcrumbs that are being left. And then you have message. So this is, I think this is going to expand a lot. So I'm just going to see the rest of the cards first. Mercury in Pisces with inspiration. Moon in Capricorn with practicality. Mars in Virgo with criticism. Venus in Sagittarius with flirtation. Saturn in Taurus with ostentation. And Saturn in Gemini with concentration. This is weird because it feels to me like they want to talk to you through your own words. So it's as if they're asking you to talk to someone or to talk, just speak out or write, but I feel like it's talking. And you will get to channel something from them if you use the right words. Because I feel like there's something about the circumstances of their death or something that they left you that you need to see or that you need to connect with. So you have revisions, learning in silence, studying, reason, discernment. Songs, synesthesia, spirits, communion, modulation. Something about the sound, maybe the sound of the voice, the sound of their voice, or the sound of your voice. Initiation, tradition, death and resurrection, spiritual medicine. So I feel like the death theme is going to expand. And this is going to be another part of the reading. Let's see what it is. Okay, so secret, mystery, stability, protection, solitude, ordeal. So you have secret and then you have concentration. Saturn in Gemini. So the restriction of communication, something that was, it feels like there's a mystery that you have to solve that has to do with a word or with a group of words that are very specific and that they were kind of lost in time. But this person is trying to leave you breadcrumbs that you can follow so you can get there. And I feel like they're trying to leave those breadcrumbs through like people that you meet randomly. So they're not coming through the people in your life, like intimate connections or close connections. I feel like they chose to come to you without emotional charge, without any emotional weight. So they chose people with whom you have this very superficial contact, like workplace or just on the street, or very like strange and casual meetings that happen like once. So maybe it's through people that you're never going to meet again after you speak to them. And I feel like they chose that so that when you get the message, there is no emotional attachment to it. There's no, so that it seems like the puzzle is getting puzzle, so that the puzzle is yours. Because when it comes with an emotional charge, you might interpret that as the other person's story or the other person's song, the other person's ideas. And but if it comes without that connection, it goes straight to your subconscious. It's easier. I never thought of this way. How intelligent. So this is very intelligent. This is a very intelligent way that this person found to maybe bypass your resistance, to bypass your resistance. So they know you very well. I feel like they know how you work, how your mind works, and how your heart works. They know you very well. And they want to give you like a specific feedback. And now I think we may address the death part here, because there's something that you need to heal or that you need to transform. And I'm trying to understand if there's any clue already about that. But they want to open a door. So, okay, let's, right. 6 of Pentacles. It has something to do with your resources too. Material resources. Generosity. Death again. It's like the exchange of how you exchange resources and energy. Maybe there's something more here. Okay, sorry for that. Okay. Temperance. Sorry, the star. Why did I say temperance? Maybe it's because of the water, of the anthers. That's interesting. Okay. So, okay. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. And the 8 of Swords. So I feel like this is a very complicated thing. So although there's some kind of resolution regarding the way you use your resources, internal and external, also how you channel your inner resources to create something material. There's something about that, but it feels like this situation has a lot of other implications, spiritual and emotional. And I feel like there's some kind of like short circuit that needs to be addressed. I have a lot of feelings like short circuit, bypassing, something about like the way the connections are made. It's like if you're making like electrical wiring and you connect the right cables or the wrong ones. So it's a world of difference. So there's something about that. The flow, something about the flow of energy. Okay. Seven of Swords. Nine of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Sorry for that. So you have the Queen of Swords. And this Queen of Swords is very gory. She has a severed head on her lap. This deck is very appropriate for Halloween. Even the deck card is really spooky. So, right. Okay, Six of Wands and the Page of Swords. So it feels like this is a very specific story. So this person, I feel like it was someone who was present in your childhood. And I feel like you looked up to this person and you thought that you wanted to follow their example in some aspects, specifically the way they use their resources and the way they manage to materialize and build things, create things. So, but it feels like they had a very special way of doing this. Like it looked kind of mystical or magical because it was very sophisticated and it was very elaborate. But it had a lot of thought behind it. It had a lot of investigation and attention to detail. And so it feels like you're constantly learning from their example, even if you're not thinking about them specifically. Unconsciously, it feels like you have followed their example. You have followed their footsteps. But there are parts of the process that you didn't understand because you were very young and you didn't see also. You weren't present. And so because you didn't get to see the full picture, it's like a story with gaps. And I feel like they want you to reassess certain aspects of your life so that you fill in those gaps before you move forward. Because it seems like they want you to be more confident and uplifted. They want you to overcome certain things that they understood very well about you. That's also why they're using this strategy of being channeled by people you don't know very well. They know how to bypass, how to make the right connection so that the energy flows for you. And it feels like you have to reconsider something. Maybe you have to wait a little bit so that the waters flow to the right place. So it's like you have misplaced an emotion. You have misplaced a certain emotion, maybe like an electrical charge. So that would be the right metaphor. It's misplaced. So it's being used in a place where it's not needed. They want you to redirect that energy to a different theme, a different lifestyle, a different way of life, a different job, because they want to help you be more motivated and more it's like they want you to learn how to use something. They want you to learn how to, maybe it's a new skill, or maybe it's a new studying. Maybe they want you to study something, because it's going to be like spiritual medicine for you. It's going to be very healing, because when I saw the star, I saw temperance, but the star is also a dream. It's also an aspiration. It's also success. So it's also you getting closer to your ideal self and to your ideal life. So they want you to transform something about your life. And now I'm curious about what's the connection between this studying and this new knowledge or this new way of life and that mystery or that word that's part of the story, but that was not, that you didn't listen to, or that you didn't listen. You didn't listen, or maybe it isolated you, something isolated you. Okay, let me confirm that part of the reading. So what is this word? What is this message? The Four of Cups. I don't think you were available to receive that, or that they were able to access that at the time that they wanted to speak about this. The Four of Wands and Judgment. Okay, so it feels to me like the clues are in objects that they left, or in some kind of memory, like something that you used to remember this person, or a place, maybe. Maybe it's in the place where this person is buried, if they're in some sort of cemetery or temple, or if there's a place of remembrance there, and you need to awaken that memory. You need to reawaken that memory, because at that point, when they thought, okay, this person's ready to receive this information, they weren't able to. They weren't able to get to you. It seems like you were alone, or you were apart, maybe. Maybe they were already gone when the time had come to communicate this to you, because there's something about your spiritual mission here too. you weren't ready. But I guess you're ready now, and they want you to see something maybe in an object or in a place that is connected to them, and they have something more to tell you that I don't think I can tell you right now, because it seems like it's an energy that is locked in an object, in a specific object. I also feel like you might have to inquire about it. You might have to ask for it, or to kind of tease around someone else or people in your life to see what comes up. Maybe there are other people who are also connected to this person that might help you out. It feels like you have to awaken this energy, like you have to, kind of shake things up and maybe move things around, like go through stuff. You have to go through stuff. Very old stuff. Even buried stuff. Maybe there's buried stuff. There's buried stuff. And they want you to awaken it. They want you to give something. They want to give something. To give you something, sorry. And they want you to remember. They want you to remember something. There's something else. They also want you to have something that was theirs. A specific object. And I'm almost seeing that object. It's something that you can hold in your hands. It doesn't seem like it's very big. And they want you to have it. They want you to use it. Maybe it's something that you can study. Maybe it's like a diary. Or a collection. There's something that you can study, that you can make something of it also. Transform it, study it, transform it. And they want you to see that before you do something else. So, the Chariot. Okay, so that's something else is what you want to do. So before you do what you want to do this, because if you get this message before you go forward with your plans, you will be able to materialize them. Because if you try to do what you want right now, it feels like it's going to be clunky, and it's going to be blocked or annoying, or you will feel like, nah, this isn't working. Something may demoralize you or take away from your motivation. So it's really important that you get this detail before you start this new endeavor, whatever it is. I could be here a long, long time. It feels like it's very detailed. I hope that I can get a Friday reading this week, because it will be Halloween, but I'm having a big party, so I hope that I can manage everything, and maybe in that reading we'll have the continuation of this, because I'm very curious, but I feel like I would be here all day in conversation with this person. I feel like they're very wise. They have a lot of information that they could give us, but yeah, I leave it here for now. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is the Cow. And the Cow, to me, today is very simple. It's just about stop doing. You don't have to do anything. The cow is about the abundance of Mother Earth, the abundance of the goddess. So it's like being nurtured by the mother, the divine mother, and also your material, physical mother. So it's also about self-mothering, if that's more appropriate energy for you. But when I saw this card, I knew like there's a very simple message today here. And it felt like it was just, don't do anything. It's about the busybody, okay? Busybody, stop that, stop. And there's nothing that you need to do to deserve the mother's energy, the mother goddess, abundance, and love. Okay. So let's get you an OM. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is Ilum. And this is about having a grand vision, a wider perspective, like a holistic view of things. Okay. So let's start with the Fairy Oracle. So messages from beyond the veil, from the other side of the veil. Okay. Feels like it's very specific. That's too much, but yeah, let's go with it. Okay. Yep. Is that it? Wow, it feels like a lot of things. A lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are going to happen, and there's nothing that you have to do so that they come to pass. You have G, Hobaya. List of the Shadows. A collective of pixies. And the Singer of Intuition. Okay, beautiful. You have Mercury in Pisces with inspiration. Moon in Leo with appreciation. Saturn and Sagittarius with fulfillment. Mars in Scorpio with revenge. Interesting. So it feels to me like this person that's trying to get through from beyond the veil, they're part of a collective. And that collective served a purpose, a very specific purpose, to block certain energies from taking over. And there was a point when they had to leave to continue that work on the other side of the veil. So I feel like this reading, this message here is going to be from a collective that you're connected with, maybe through family, ancestry, spirituality. So it's a collective that is working on the other side of the veil to block certain energies from coming through. And when they were here in the material realm, they were still doing that same work, involved in those themes, in circumstances and places where they had to fight certain energies. And it feels like they are going to be vindicated. So somehow their memory is going to be vindicated. And some sort of justice might be coming through. And it's coming through in two ways. One is material fulfillment or material success, and the other is through appreciation. So they will be valued. Something about this collective that you're connected to will be highly valued and treasured. And because you are connected to them, there's something that you're going to do or something that you're involved in that brings that energy to the forefront. And it's also going to be somehow vindicated as a good energy, as something that hints us collectively about the future. It's like they shine a little light. It's very bright but very concentrated, that you can follow in dark times and also in places where there's no clear path. Okay, these two and this one. Okay, sorry. So strangers, future, innocence, innovation, turning point. So these people were involved in shaping the future somehow. So maybe they were very aware of the power of technology, for instance. Maybe they were pioneers in their field. There's something about innovation, like having this really good grasp of the future, of what is going to work for humanity or for the planet, for the world, what is going to be like the historical trend. They have a very good grasp of that reality, and they knew how to materialize things, how to make things with that in mind. Duality, alternation, paradox, hardship, mediation, threshold. Turning point and threshold. They will be vindicated. Something is going to change because they will be vindicated. And you have healing, transformation, rebirth, confrontation, emptiness. So their energy is going to be revived. And also the conflicts that they had to endure are also going to be revived, but transformed. So they're not going to be the same. They're going to be like a higher frequency of those conflicts, like a higher dimension of those conflicts that they had to go through, because they were fighting darkness. They were fighting energies that wanted to control or destroy or obscure or hide. I'm hearing like they wanted to suppress, they wanted to hide. It's like in order for something to shine, other things had to be hidden, which is not very inspiring, let's say. It's not serving the collective. It's serving something else. It's serving a kind of spiritual slavery. Six of Cups. The Moon. Six of Pentacles. I feel like the key to this conversation with this energy is in a memory that you share with other people. It can be a bit traumatic in a way, but not sad. It's like, how do I say this? Not traumatic. It's a very strong imprint that comes with a certain melancholy and sadness, but it's not. It's like there was a bond, a close bond. The key is in a memory that you share with people with whom you have close bonds. Very, very close. So maybe mother, or some kind of energy that you connect with that, with mother. Three of Wands, Three of Staves. This is too much. Oh, okay. Five of Swords with the Seven of Cups. So, this is really interesting. It's very, very clear. And they're saying very clearly that you need to start getting comfortable with discomfort. So you are part of this collective that is fighting a specific darkness that I want to elaborate on later on. So you're fighting a very specific darkness, and you're part of this collective. So they want you to learn that success comes with a certain discomfort. And that's a part of it, that's part of the success. That's part of why you're successful and why you're going to be successful in defeating this darkness and this ignorance also. And you're right on track. Your intuition is guiding you, and it won't fail you. It's your lifeline. But here in the material, your success will always come with a bit of discomfort, because you will also create discomfort within these forces, within the people who are dependent upon these energies. But you're going to also be vindicated in a way, although it does mean that you might have to deal with unpleasant reactions. Two of Pentacles. Strength. Oh yeah. The Ace of Cups and the Prince of Staves. Yeah, don't give up. Keep at it. I'm also hearing something about you insisting and persisting in some kind of communication, because you are going to get an answer. If you're trying to get some kind of answer related to a situation in your life that you might feel like has this kind of energy attached to it, persist. You have to continue and persist and never stop until you get the results, until you get the transformation, until the energy transforms. Your mission here is just to keep doing it, to keep fighting. Never give up. Because that discomfort, it doesn't come from defeat. Okay? Four of Cups. Sacrifice with Kuan Yin. This is the Hanged Man. And the World with Gaia. Yeah, so the nobility of your actions and the dignity of your actions will not be ignored. Something is coming around back to you with the World. It goes around the world and it comes back to you. But you have to give it away first. You have to give it first. And you have to give it without expecting anything. And you rest assured that your talent is going to be seen. You can't give up. You have to continue. I also feel like you're going to be shown a brand new world. It's like you're going to be entering a whole new sphere of your life, a new sphere of the world, a new sphere, a new circle, a new collective also. So you're still going to be a part of this collective, but I feel like you're going to gather all other collectives. So when I got to this part of the reading, I felt like astronaut or psychonaut, this expansion of consciousness. It will allow you to connect deeply with people you have never thought you would. It feels like they're very different. So it feels like they might be from other cultures or from, like, they speak different languages. They're very different from you in many aspects. Okay. You're serving together. You're serving together. You might even know the same battles, like you fought the same battles. You understand those feelings of defeat, feelings of defeat, while also not really understanding what to do or being lost or just being out there and exploring in a kind of a void of darkness. This is what I'm seeing. So that's why I'm getting this like uncanny, awe striking sensation, like an astronaut, or I've never been to space, unfortunately, but maybe one day, very soon, I hope. And this is like the feeling of just going to the frontier. Wow. Okay, now it makes sense. Mother Goddess, the earth, like seeing the earth from space. Because then you have the grand vision, the greater vision, the wider perspective. So you're kind of like zooming out of Earth. That's what I'm seeing. Zooming out of Earth and seeing everything from space. I hope I'm talking to astronauts, and if I am, please leave me a comment. That would be amazing. Or with someone who tried like to orbit or something like that. Okay, so that would be awesome. So apart from that, I feel like even in psychological, like a psychological metaphor, this would be you expanding your knowledge and expanding your wisdom. So you're getting some kind of life experience that is going to make you see connections between things that you thought weren't connected, and also a wider. You're going to see this have this like fish eye, round vision. A rounder vision. Something that is round is also something that is whole, something that is wholesome. You're going to make something whole, something wholesome, and you're going to see this. Oh, so you're going to make sense. Okay, sorry. So you're going to make sense out of a series of defeats or a feeling of defeat. So you're going to say, okay, now it makes sense why this wasn't working, because this other collective was making this huge push down. Like they were pushing me away, or they were pushing my collective away and apart. And now it makes sense why this was happening. So maybe there's something happening. Maybe it's even something technological. They were driving people apart, and now you're going to see something or use a tool, or you're going to see a way to make things whole again. And it's something that might be available for a large group of people that is now going to be able to connect and make things whole again, make something wholesome together, and make sense out of the past defeats. And although it's not something that is going to just like magically transform all the evil stuff in the world into a beautiful paradise, it's not like that. It's not completely perfect, but it's wholesome, and it's connected. And it's going to strengthen your bond with spirit. It's going to strengthen your bond with the collective, and it's going to strengthen your bond with the other side of the veil. So what is on the other side of the veil? Of course, the energies that are working with you, that are working to protect you and to guide you, to give you strength, specifically spiritual strength, to overcome spiritual challenges and emotional instability. So the spirits and the angels, the guardians, the guides that want you to persist, that want you to keep fighting, that are, I'm hearing like they're also motivated by you. So sometimes we just tend to just ask for help from whatever is invisible to us, to ask for guidance, to ask for help. But sometimes it's the opposite. It's what we do that can also call upon the energies. So once we start doing, we have to realize the power of just having faith and doing things just because, just doing them. Because the power it holds is that it unlocks the channels, it unlocks the flow of energy also, and it also helps spirit. It's our contribution, our devotion, it's a way, it's in a way, it is a sacrifice. But it's something that comes out of devotion and love. So Kuan Yin is also a very powerful entity, and I have a very special relationship, let's say, with this beautiful energy, a very personal, and also it comes from my family. So Kuan Yin here with the mother goddess energy. This is, in a way, it's also like treating other people or the world as if it were your baby, as having that kind of holistic empathy. But that is not like self-destructive, okay? Kuan Yin doesn't destroy herself to serve others, but she does say that she will not ascend before before suffering is eradicated from the earth. That's why she will always extend her hand to everyone. It's her mission. So maybe this is also connected to your collective, this energy. Just like the first reading, the first pile, I could be here like all day because it feels like the energy and the veil is so thin and it's so easy to access the information, at least for me. At the moment, I am so inspired. I'm so energized by, I can feel the vibration in the air. So I'm very, very excited for this time of the year and energized. So yeah, I'm psyched. So I will leave it here and see maybe in the next reading if this expands or not, because I could just be here for hours and I'll just overexert myself. So thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is Goose. And the goose represents family, being able to have a family, to have close connections, or to have a big family. It also represents the connection between the earth and the sky. So they fly very high and they fly long distances, so they're able to sustain flight for long periods of time, and they're together, they're united. So that could that ability to like be down to earth, have a family, do your daily stuff with the family, and be very like chop wood, carry water, do just focus on the daily chores and family life, but also be able to take that to higher dimensions and to have like a spiritual connection that is very, how do I say this, like sustained, that is very healthy and very strong, very powerful, and that influences those daily chores and the daily, how do I say this, like the day-to-day and the details of your life, the very small things that usually we tend to disregard or to think that they're minor. So there's something here about the sacred and the profane spaces of your life. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else comes up for pile number 3. Okay, so we have Isaz. The Isaz rune. That means some kind of blockage or a delay or a pause, like if something's frozen. Or difficult. Something is delayed. Okay. Just that. Okay. So, messages from the other side of the veil for pile number 3. What do we have? What do we have for pile number 3 today? It's interesting that the cards came out one at a time. Sometimes they come in one block, but we have Luminous Doom and the Feline. Very judgmental creature. I always kind of laugh when I see him. Very judgmental look. And I also feel like the Luminous Doom is also very, very funny. So, let's see what the rest of the cards say. Moon in Leo with appreciation. Venus in Leo with affair. Venus in Aquarius with detachment. And Mars in Aries with impulsiveness. Okay, so maybe I'll put this like this. Yeah. So, okay. That's it. The blank card. Interesting. Strangers, future innocence, innovation, turning point. And revisions, learning in silence, studying, reason, discernment. So very polarized. This reading has a lot of contrast. Has a lot of contrast. Maybe it feels like there's something that you need to move, or that you need to make something move, or movement. The hooded man, the hermit. Okay, the moon on water, and the Queen of Bows with hair. So we have Page of Vessels with otter. Eight of Bows with hearth, fire. And Two of Cups with attraction. So there's this thing going from kind of loneliness to connection. So it feels like there's some kind of cloud of confusion around you at the moment, and that I feel like you have to fill that with your own light. And it comes from maybe a certain loneliness, or being diving too much into the sadness and not focusing on smaller things that might not be very interesting, but that actually help you connect or reconnect, both with yourself as well as with others. So it feels like you might have to do some like boring stuff, like details, things that aren't really very interesting on the surface level, but that they're actually very, very important for your family, for someone specific in your family, or for your family connection, for your family life. There's something there that you need to declutter or that you need to rearrange, consider, study, understand, or change, like take care of some paperwork or something like that. I feel like your life, especially your sense, the sense of connection with others, is kind of frozen, and that needs to change because it's leaving you in a place of isolation, of doubt, and it's also kind of cluttering your mind. It's because you're not connecting with other people, you give a lot of space to, or you're not, it's not a lot of people, maybe you're connecting with a lot of people, but you're not connecting with the people that mean something to you or that have a certain meaning. Maybe there's some kind of tension in your family or tension in your intimate sphere, and there's something that's difficult to address. It's like the elephant in the room, or there's some kind of boring stuff that you need to do that would help, and you're not seeing that at the moment. Maybe you're focusing on, and even hyper focusing, because gloom doom is a bit like focusing too much on your own issues, on your own problems, and not seeing, not being able to tell the forest from the trees. You need to detach and do something. Detach and action, impulsiveness. Detachment and impulsiveness. And a fair and appreciation, to me, has to do with this sense of connection, with this intimacy with people that mean a lot to you, with people who are very important in your life. So it seems like you have to connect with the important people in your life, with the, or with a specific person that has a meaning. So it's like your connection to them has a specific meaning. Maybe they mean the world to you. It's like they mean the world, they mean a lot to you. Seven of Cups, or Seven of Vessels with mourning. Six of Bows with abundance. And the Queen of Cups with salmon. Okay, so this is also about clearing emotional stuff. And maybe this happens also with honoring people who have passed. And by honoring them, you will also connect to family members. It's like preparing the setting to connect. Maybe you will gather family because of that, because of honoring the people who have passed. And of course, this is Halloween season, so this reading is it is a timeless reading, but the energy of the moment when I'm recording is very, very clear. And specifically in this reading now, I'm seeing this honoring of the ancestors and specifically honoring people with whom you had close bonds and close connections, and that they are now gone. So it feels like that's especially important for this pile, because it will put into the world, it will create in this world the opportunity and the space and the time for you to discover something about yourself, and to also put more of yourself, more presence. What I'm seeing here is that a part of you is so sad that the person is gone, or that group of people, maybe it's more than one person, that they are gone, that it's almost as if that part of you is no longer here. And of course we say that a lot of people say that the grief that they feel when someone departs is so great that it's like a part of you is lost. And in a way that is true, but it's not actually lost, because the soul is eternal, that person is eternal, they live in you. But because we sometimes fail to re-actualize or to relive that relationship in rituals or in objects, in interactions, sometimes we just say that, okay, if I can't be with that person and speak with them and touch them and sense their presence, their physical presence, then I can never be like that. I can never say such things again. And it is a bit of a trick that our mind is playing, because that's not true. You have to create that. You have to remember them so that that part of you never dies, because we let that part die. It's our responsibility to bring them back to life, to relive the experience of being in their presence, and the love we feel will flow again in presence and with the people who are here in the material realm. So it's that moment of sharing, of reliving, that will also create connections in the material life, in this dimension where we are living physically. Okay. So it's like having a spiritual experience in practice. You need to practice it. You need to create it. The stag. Ace of Bows with Spark of Life. And the Seven of Stones with Healing. Let me just confirm something here. Wow. Nine of Cups with Generosity. And you can see that the position of these two and the expression on their faces is very, very similar. So for some of you, meditation, but also prayer, there's some kind of you'll receive something from the people who have passed. You will be, oh. So if you create some sort of ritual that reconnects you to the people who have passed, you will be in the position to receive a gift from them that will help you heal and that will help you adjust something specific in your life. I feel like they want to tell you something, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say what it is or if it's just a very personal experience that I'm not supposed to be involved. Okay, King of Stones with Wolf. Okay, so I feel like I can give you a clue about what it is, but you have to experience it in your body. It will be a kind of an ecstatic feeling, but they will give you information about how to manage something on the material plane, how to use something material. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something that they gave you. Maybe it's something that you have in your possession, like a tool that you have, or it's something like a process that is ongoing, and I feel like they want to help you with the strategy. They have information for you, specific to you, and I can only glimpse I can only have this glimpse, and I can't really tell you anything more because I feel like it's very specific. It's just tailor-made for you, but you need to be receptive. And for that to happen, you need to allow connection to occur. You need to honor that feeling of loss, and you need to mourn. You need to allow yourself to mourn. And this is the best time of the year for that. This is a very, very auspicious moment for that. I also feel like it's about timing. So you need to find the right time and the right place and the right objects and the right way to place them and focus on that. And when you do that, you close your eyes and you pray and you put your hands like this and you receive something. You will receive something. You might even see it if you have a strong visual ability. If your third eye is very developed and you also have a very visual way of seeing the world, I feel like you're going to really visually almost maybe sense something being put in your hand. You're going to grab something. You're going to get something. And it's a clue, or it's a sign that will help you deal with something in the material. So it can be a creation something that you're materializing. It can be a strategy addressing something that seems mundane, something that seems. So we were talking in the beginning, like the profane and the sacred. I feel like you're going to have a sacred experience that will help you deal with something profane. When I see the stag here, I also get something about justice or something about legal matters, documents, a clue about a strategy that you can implement in your lives to address a problem that might be related to that aspect. It's something very practical. So it's this sacred and profane dynamic. And now is the best time to do this. You find the right place, you find the right time, you put things perfectly. I feel like you know exactly what to do. And you just focus on that. Because it feels like you also have to protect yourself from spiraling energies, like obsessive energies, spiraling. I see like with the luminous doom, I see like spiraling sadness, like just self-reinforcing thoughts of melancholy and sadness and loss and grief. And that has to be harnessed and used so that it turns upwards, so that it doesn't bring you down, it brings you up. They want you to be uplifted. It feels like it's a specific person, but they can also be like a part of a tribe, because when I see the wolf here, he's calling his clan, right? He's calling the wolf clan. He is howling and speaking to the clan. He's the king. And because you have the goose here, he's not lonely. He's not the lone wolf. He's the leader of the family. And he's calling. He's howling. And he or she wants to gather that energy of grief and loss and transform it into something that uplifts you. Beautiful. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Happy Halloween, everyone, and thank you so much for being there and for supporting this channel. This is our anniversary, so you have a merry celebration. I hope you have a lot of fun, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.